AI is everywhere right now. It's very annoying, and I hate everything about it. But you know, it's a lot of slop, and there's a lot of people touting themselves as AI entrepreneurs, self-marketing themselves on LinkedIn, and it's the worst. But that doesn't mean we have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. We do have some interesting tools coming out, and let's say 90% of these tools are not going to be around in 10 years. The biggest problem we have, at least in filmmaking, is you need to have a certain amount of control for it to be production ready. Like, if you know you've worked in this industry at all, clients always go like, "Ooh, move that little cloud a little bit over there. We want a little bit more specular on this thing." Blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of yeah, it's a lot of that. So I want to talk a bit about ComfyUI, because it's one of those tools where you do have a little bit of extra control. And ideally, you want to, hire a matte painter, a modeler. It's always going to be better, at least in this stage. But let's say you're a small team, or let's say you're doing a solo project and you don't have the skills to be a DMP artist. That's me. Or it costs too much to hire someone. So in that case, I think AI is actually kind of production ready, and I'm going to show you the most simple sort of case where that would be the case. So I just took this shot real quick, and it's this guy just walking over a mountain. And so what I want to do here, I've gotten the prompt from a client, for instance, that I want to get a castle in here, right? So what you could do is, like, usually you would just get a DMP artist or get some stock footage. Let's say you just don't have the money for that, or you want to do it quicker. There's something called ComfyUI. You've probably heard of this. If you haven't, well, that's kind of weird because it's been everywhere. But it's kind of a node-based AI program. It's very similar to Nuke. If you want to learn this, I'll point you in the direction where you can learn this really easy at the end of this. But the details don't really matter. Like, I uploaded a picture here. It's something called the Mont Saint Michel. It's some castle in Normandy, I think. Let's say I want the castle to kind of look like this, right? And I want this castle to be over here. So what I made sure to do is kind of get the lighting. I wanted a picture where the lighting was kind of similar to here. And I run it. And I get this picture. And you can see kind of, so this is the one that's generated, and this is the one before. You can see how it's sort of the same structure, the same build up. And well, that's, that kind of works. I think it's kind of in the background. Like, obviously, if you want to zoom in, there's some weird stuff going on over in this area. But this could work. It's not bad. I've tweaked around with the settings here. I basically just said castle in a grass field, and it comes up with this. That's not bad at all. This took me all of 10 minutes or something. So you can just literally just do what you normally do in Nuke. You can just copy it in. Is it this one? This one, yeah. Just put it in. You track it, and there you go. Let's say I want these rocks to kind of be in the foreground, because to implement, to integrate the castle a little bit. Now, obviously this looks like shit, but once I just do some color correction, defocus, that looks a bit better, right? Bit of light wrap. Suddenly you have a shot that's working, kind of. And it's all done in 15 minutes. Now, this is the most simple, just the most basic case you can use AI for as a compositor. Is this the right one? Let me just check. No, it's not the right one. This is the right one. Now, obviously, you can vastly improve this. Again, I just did this in a couple of minutes. You could add some reflection with some distortion over it. I was too lazy to track it, so let's not think about that right now. Add some effects, and you can definitely improve this a bit more, add some textures. But if you want to look at it kind of like, it kind of works. Now, does it make sense that a castle is over there? Absolutely not. Does it make sense that there's nowhere, that there aren't any trees anywhere, but suddenly there's a castle with about 1,000 trees inside its walls? Not so much. So I went back real quick. Software, ComfyUI, and I said, well, which one was that? I said, well, I kind of like what you did there, but I wanted a castle in a grass field without any trees or greenery. And if I render that, it's something like this. Let's just render that again. I've got the seed on a fixed seed, so it renders out the same image every time. So you can definitely tell it keeps the entire structure the same. Suddenly we got rid of the green trees, and this is a lot better, I think. You can even, so if I play around with settings, let's say denoise, it's on 0.5 right now. If I put it on, well, 0.8, what this does, the higher the settings, the denoise is, the more it sort of breaks down the image before it builds it back up again. So the more it changes it. So now this is a vastly different image than it just was. Maybe I do it 0.3. So that's lower than I had on the first try. You can really tell that this now will look a lot like an awful lot like the original image, almost identically so, actually. So that's kind of how that works. The other way to do it, this is a cool technique, but I haven't really gotten it to work quite right, is you can actually load a mask, like the picture that the backplate into ComfyUI, and then say, okay, hey, I wanna put a castle here. It's called an in-paint feature, and then it comes up with something like this, and then you can obviously cut this out. And I know it doesn't look quite right because the masking is off and it does something weird here, and it looks a bit cartoony, but I'm sure if I were to delve into that a bit more, it would work out better. But let's go with the other one. Let's go with the one without all the trees in here. And then it kind of looks, let's see if I have a rendered version. Then it kind of looks all right. So this isn't like, I'm not doing this for a client, obviously. I just kind of mashed this together. I just wanted to show you sort of a basic workflow, how you could use this. But this could work. Like if you have like a small client and this is the best that you can do. You don't want to DMP something yourself. Obviously put a bit more effort in it than me, but this kind of works. There's a castle over there. You kind of believe it. And then to improve it, you can, add some reflections in the water or something, which again, I did not track because I'm too busy. Let's say busy, not lazy. I'm too busy. So that's that. So I implore you, if you're going to learn any AI tools, learn ComfyUI. You can literally learn it. If you're a compositor, you can learn it in 4 or 5 hours. You get some really nice basics. And let me actually show you where you should go for that. There's this guy called Alex Viabon, and he has a fantastic sort of series on it, episode 1 through 6. They're like 30 minutes per episode. You have to install a bunch of shit, but once you get through these 6 these 6 episodes, you have a pretty decent understanding of what ComfyUI can do. So if you want to learn ComfyUI, learn the basics. It's really not that hard. You just kind of have to, get the hang of it. Literally, you can do it in less than a day. There's also, I've seen different ways of people kind of also with AI rendering out a 3D model and then projecting the image onto a 3D model. Now that's obviously superior. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm sure it's doable. But that's really it. So, we're going to have to use this stuff at some point. And right now, the best program out there, I think, is ComfyUI. It just gives you a bunch of control. It gives you, you can play around with all kind of different filters, models, settings. So definitely check that out. Keep it in mind for a next project. I'm actually using this next week for a small project where I have to put something like a football field in the mountains. I think it's perfect for that. If I can't find perfect stock, it's a nice tool to have in your arsenal. So that's it. I hope you learned something from this and have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye bye.